Hello, everyone, and welcome to another grammar clinic. My name is Kieran, as you probably already know, and the topic of our workshop today is going to be coordinating conjunctions. So, over the last couple of weeks, we've looked at conjunctions in a little bit of detail. We've talked about how they connect to complex sentences, for example. So, if you haven't seen that video already, check it out. There should be a link up there now. So, yeah, we've been talking about conjunctions. We've been developing our knowledge of conjunctions. And today we're going to take that knowledge one step further. We're going to have a look at one more specific, maybe rarer type of conjunction. We're going to see how you can use it in your sentences. And most importantly, how you can use them in your assignments and essays at higher education. So let's just refresh our knowledge of what conjunctions actually are. Okay, so conjunctions are those little words that connect other words or phrases or even clauses or even sentences, linking them together to link the ideas to create smoother, easier to understand, easier to read sentences. Okay, so this is what you should be doing in your assignments anyway, making it easy to read, easy to understand the ideas, and very coherent and linked. So let's talk about the different types of conjunctions, because there are different conjunctions. They each have different functions. They each have different words that they are. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, we had a look at coordinating conjunctions. Okay, so if you remember, those were those words like and, etc. So if you haven't seen that video already, again, check the link. So that was coordinating conjunctions. Now, last week we had a look at subordinating conjunctions. So those are ones that make more complex sentences that take a dependent and independent clause and put them together and link them and show how they are connected. So yeah, I recommend you go and have a look at that video as well if you haven't seen it already. There is a link up there as well. Now today we're going to be having a look at correlative conjunctions. So if you don't know what that means, well, that's fine. That's fine, because correlative conjunctions are those words, those combinations of words like either, or, neither, nor, or those other ones like both this and that. And usually they work in pairs to connect similar sentence elements. So maybe you don't know what that means, you're still not sure, so let's have a look at an example. So the example is either you can choose the blue shirt or you can pick the red one. So in this sentence, those connections of either blah, 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 or blah, 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 this is a pair of correlative conjunctions that are working together to connect those two choices together. Okay? So just remember then that those conjunctions is that little bit of glue that connects clauses, that connects sentences together and makes our assignments easier to understand and, let's say, better as well. Okay, so let's push ahead with exploring correlative conjunctions. So imagine you're given a choice. Okay, so this is a bit of self-reflection. You've got the choice to either read a book or play outside. So which one would you do? Would you choose the first option or would you choose the second option? Now let's consider something else. You've got the choice either to go on a beach trip or to go on a mountain hike. So again, which one of those are you going to choose? And lastly, you've got a choice between either watching films at home or watching films at the cinema. Now again, which one would you choose? Would you choose the first option or would you choose the second option? Okay, so have a little think about that one. Okay. But the reason that we're looking at those is because they are scenarios where there are some examples of correlative conjunctions in them. And we'll have a look in a second at which ones they were. But let's consider our learning outcomes for today. So we're going to find out what a correlative conjunction actually is. We're going to understand how they are used. And we're going to have a look at the context, some little examples. And then you, everybody out there, you're going to practice applying the knowledge of correlative conjunctions to some sentences, to some assignments, etc. So, what are correlative conjunctions? So they are those pair of words that connect two or more words or clauses or sentences together with some kind of similar grammatical structures in each of those things. So we've got either or and neither nor. Okay? So either or is when you're trying to choose one option from two options. And neither nor, these are kind of the opposite. They are the negative form. It is when you want to do zero from two options. Okay. So, like we've already said, those correlative conjunctions are when we're trying to connect two ideas, two sentences, two clauses together, and we use a pair of conjunctions to do it. So normally we have either at the start and then or in the middle. So either X or Y. So we see some example here, either read a book or play outside. So you've got to choose between the first option and the second option. You can only choose one of those options. So it's a choice of one out of two. You can either have cake or ice cream for dessert. So you need to choose one of those options, cake or dessert. So that correlating conjunction there is useful because it shows that you've got to make a choice. So now we've got the negative form, which is neither nor. So like we said, it is when you are given a choice of two options and you do zero of those options. Okay. So like it says here, correlative conjunctions can express a choice or something like that. So here, so neither the cat nor the dog is allowed on the couch. So there's two options, the cat and the dog. And in this situation, zero of those things are allowed on the couch. So no cat and also no dog. Also consider the other example here, neither Lily nor Max can attend the party. So Lily can't attend, that's negative. Max can't attend, that's negative. Two people, zero of the people can attend the party. So neither X nor Y can attend the party. So let's review then. So what you could possibly do with this situation is pause the video and see if you can write down 5 sentences using correlative conjunctions. Okay. So it shouldn't be too difficult. You're just going to be using either X or Y or neither X nor Y. Just create some sentences using them. Just a little bit of practice, repeating, things like that will help you to write these more in future and include them in your essays. So hopefully you've done that. Hopefully you've unpaused the video. So let's have a look at some other examples. So the first example here, we've got not only X, but also Y. So he is not only a great athlete, but also a brilliant student. So it means he is a great athlete and also a brilliant student. So we're trying to add some emphasis here. He isn't just a great athlete. He is also a brilliant student as well. Okay, so there's kind of two options and he is both of those options. Okay, so we use not only X, but also Y. And it is a similar idea here with both X and Y. She is both a talented singer and a skilled dancer. So there's kind of two choices there, and this woman is both of those choices. A talented singer and also a skilled dancer. Okay, so those are the options that we can use when somebody is two different things, but in the same situation. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a review then. So correlative conjunctions connect similar grammatical structures together. They can express choices, either this or this, or negative choices, neither this nor this. It can suggest similarities, or it can suggest agreement. Okay, so the examples we talked about were either this or this, neither this nor this, both this and this, or not only this, but also this. Okay. So that is our understanding of correlative conjunctions. So we've seen how to use them, the situations in which we should use them. So the next thing we've got to do is use them. Okay, so you have a choice of two options. This one, you can either do option A or you can do option B. If you're feeling very brave, you can not only do option A, but also option B. Okay, so in option A, you've got to write a short paragraph describing a choice that you had to make recently. Okay, so you're trying to use a few options here of either or, and also with neither nor. And you're trying to show your options or agreement or something. Your second option is you're going to write a paragraph about two of your favorite hobbies and the similarities between those two hobbies. So this is where you really should be using both X and Y, or not only X, but also Y, in your sentences to show those similarities. Okay, and make sure in both of these options, or in either of these options, that you're using them correctly and you're also providing extra detail. Okay. So choose one of those options and write what you've got on the screen. Okay, so I hope that was useful for everybody here today, talking about correlative conjunctions. All right, and I hope you join us next time, because in our next session, we are going to be talking about text cohesion. So we can use correlative conjunctions. We can use any type of conjunctions to improve our cohesion. So next session, when we talk about cohesion, we're going to take that idea further and push it a little bit more. Okay. So thank you everybody for joining me today, and I hope to see everybody again soon. Bye-bye.